Please, everybody. Thank you.
Oh God. I was like,
Yeah, kids are not
They not
that
stupid.
upset about it when they can feel the change intensity that is like so
Yeah.
hard.
But I could never do that wasp shit. Like, please tell.
Oh my god. You
Have a
do it
nice
really
day.
well.
Is it?
Mic check here. Kemda, you tell me the deal. And
And which one do you like?
Janelle, not to start so personal, what did you eat today?
Shawarma that Kemna was
Excellent.
was nice enough to share with
What
me.
a Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
KeithAndTheGirl.com/history. Help support Keith and the Girl. Another 200 episodes, a full year of Keith and the Girl, reaching 15 years and an all-new marathon 24 hours.
Yes, so if you're listening to this and you want more of it tomorrow, go to KeithAndTheGirl.com/history.
If we get 500 backers to this Kickstarter at /history, we're going to add 12 more hours to the marathon for a total of 36 hours.
That literally could be you count as a person for just $1.
Look at that. Look, but don't trick us. Give two. Right? $2. Ladies and gentlemen, featured on Netflix, Comedy Central, HBO, and now taking over the Eugene Merman Comedy Festival, Janelle James.
Yay, that's me.
Hello, Janelle.
Aggressive blush.
I follow your I think you look nice.
Oh, well, I'll take it, but you're lying.
On Twitter, Janelle J. Comic, you can follow. I'm reading this. Sitting in a sports bar listening to men talk. 2 stars.
Oh, my God. I forget what I write sometimes. I remember that day.
Joining us, she's been on Red Eye, Gotham Comedy Live, Sirius XM, Edinburgh Fringe Festival. I've been inside her body. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Ocasio.
Hey.
I'm so sorry for that last credit.
It's okay.
I-
Just please get this Kickstarter going so I can get a nice dinner.
That's a credit?
Please. I'm getting sick of this Blue Apron shit.
I'm
Someone
laughing because
please.
she called it a credit. Like, the hubris of men.
He probably thinks that's the best credit.
I know.
Oh, I saved it for last. Hey, baby.
Gross.
Kyle's Twitter, Ocasio Kyle, you can follow. I would do one of those happy family holiday cards, but there's not enough room in the photo for our divorce lawyers, therapists, school counselors. An honest holiday card.
Uh-huh.
That's what I want to see.
I would read
real
the
one.
shit out of that.
Right?
Yeah. Keep it real one.
Yeah.
I drink alone in my bathroom every night. My son didn't make the baseball team. He's too fat. Like, those are real holiday things. That's what people need to really write.
Janelle, last time you were on, by the way, was in 2016.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's too long.
Crazy.
So I look at show notes. What do we talk about? And I see
Probably weed.
Going green. Janelle loves weed and
Nothing has changed.
and gets stoned every day. Keith is surprised how many people he sees openly smoking weed on the street. Well, now 2 years, 3 years later, man, it's crazy.
It's a different world.
You're a weirdo not
I'm
to
kind
smoke.
of annoyed. You know, like, that was my shit. Like, I felt avant-garde, you know? But
You know what feels really good about that is like I bike through the city or walk through the city, and with every like other block, every other neighborhood, a new waft of new weed comes into
But
your
the
nose.
thing is, too, though, I'm not a fucking jerk. So a lot of people are allergic to it. Some people don't like how it smells. So I don't like that that's like, it's so prevalent now because it's definitely
Right.
going to turn into
Yeah,
like a cigarette
let's-
smoke.
Let's keep it to the people drinking and throwing up on the street.
Well,
Let's keep it
I
legal.
barely see those since Bloomberg.
Right. How am I supposed to smell that piss from the night before if there's
Yeah.
weed smoke everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, I usually, because I don't go out
I
on
smoke weed. Don't blow your shit in my face is all I'm saying. I don't
That's
like it.
totally
Yeah.
fair. But I don't know that it's Friday or Saturday night when I'm out until I see puke on the floor.
Right.
I see people like in groups like, why am I bothered that a group of people are coming at me? Why do they? I could already not hear them say really dumb shit. And it's like it's Friday, Saturday night. You're not supposed to judge anybody for
What
like
are you
how
doing out on Friday and Saturday night? What are
it-
you?
I don't know.
What are you, young? No, I'm joking. I would never.
Sometimes
such
you
a-
are asking for it, right?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing out there with them? That's their
It's
time.
Complete amateur night when I'm out on
Yeah.
Friday night.
In New York too.
Yeah.
That's not for real parties.
That's honestly, I'm on a walk to pizza and I'm like, what's happening?
Oh, okay.
Why is everyone going to pizza?
Well, speaking of
They're high.
Right.
speaking of weed, Janelle has a podcast. It's called Get Lit, Talk Shit. You want to hear how often this comes out?
That's what I was gonna say.
The last one was 16 days ago. The time before that
It's like November.
was 45 weeks ago. And the time before that was 2 years ago. We have a total of 3 podcasts. Get lit, sometimes talk shit.
Hey, I get too much. I do too much
love
getting
it.
lit.
Right.
But you know what was happening? I mean, not that it would have been that much more frequent, but for a minute I was like, let's do it. I had all my friends come, and I was gonna do the thing where you bank them and you put them out. You know, everybody either got too high, and it was just a lot of like or.
Right.
They'd leave. I'd be like, "Yeah, that shit was tight," and then they'll text me like, "Yo, can you edit out that story? Because
fuck that.
I didn't mean to say." I was just like, "Forget it." So
You got to put the shows live or immediately.
yeah. Well, the last one I did 18 weeks ago, or whatever that was, it was like that. I didn't edit
hilarious.
anything. I said, "This is just I'm gonna just put it," which might not be the best for the
Were there a lot of
listeners
snacks?
either.
Like, do you have snacks for the guest? I would
No,
imagine.
who
you'd have
would you
to-
want on mics? No, I wouldn't do that. I would murder somebody.
Right, I'd rather hear that cotton mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
No way to win.
Didn't hear somebody chew on a microphone? Gosh.
Speaking of weed, Kyle and myself got you a gift, Henda. By
Ah,
that I mean
yes.
Kyle got it and I gave her a thumbs up.
Oh, you guys already gave me a gift. I like that you guys are dating
Oh,
because
right,
now
it's your birthday.
yeah,
Today is?
it was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
But I count it all
Turn it
month.
over.
Oh,
Yeah.
you doing one of those?
It's a purse that says real big and bold, not pot. And that'll keep everybody off your back.
And then there's a little surprise inside, which Keith, I don't think you knew about.
Oh, that's cute. Little Bob Ross.
Is it edibles?
Oh, no.
No, I think it's just regular mints. Sorry to let everyone down.
No, we were serious. It's not pot.
Oh, these are mints so that I don't smell like pot.
Yeah.
I just know that he told me that you liked this guy. With
Bob Ross?
Yeah.
Bob Ross.
Is he still alive?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
So sad.
So,
Here's, okay, so here.
Baby, don't play yourself. Okay? We all knew Bob Ross. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so here's what's adorable about Keith. So he gets presents like if you say, okay, hold on. Be very careful around a month around your birthday because anything that you say, he'll get you some fakakta gift based on that.
Brownstone.
Yeah, so I've been talking about Bob Ross, and here's my idea for Bob Ross, right? So I want to go to an art space where they have the easel, the canvas, and the paints, exactly like Bob Ross has. And we have a Bob Ross party. They play one of his videos, and we just paint.
Along?
Yeah,
That'd
doesn't
be
that
chill.
right with smoking weed? Yeah,
Yes.
Janelle's in, you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like smoking, painting, and I'm fine with like smoking outside and then painting inside. But I couldn't coordinate that for my birthday. I just didn't have the time or energy or whatever. But all Keith heard was, Janelle loves Bob Ross. She just motherfucking loves Bob Ross. And so I got a book. I got a Bob Ross
You got
book.
all the VHS copies.
Right.
That's just a whole. I don't even know if they converted that to DVD yet.
He
Like, I
must
don't
have
know.
been talking about Bob Ross with Kyle forever, because now she got me mitts.
my
Like, as far
goodness.
as Keith is concerned, Bob Ross is what Chemda's all about.
She loves him.
Because he can't get me weed, because that's the only other thing he can get me.
Yeah.
So he can get me weed and a Starbucks card.
Well, that was the one thing I was like, well, what is she like? And he said Starbucks. And then I saw that at the Union Square Market. I was like, oh my God, that's perfect.
Not pot.
I want a not pot.
Well, when's your birthday?
September.
See you
I'll
then.
bring it on your podcast in 72 weeks.
Right.
Good thinking.
We have enough time to get something. We're not worried about you.
I'm scheduled for August next year.
Now, when I smoke, I pass out. I don't know how you get anything done. You know.
I'll tell you this weekend for my birthday, smoked the shit out of shit. I had this giant blunt that was a fat blunt like the size of the cigar. It's rolled in some other shit, and then it's dusted with shit on top. I smoked that last night. Apparently, I smoked Xerxes under the table because he passed the fuck out at my house. All of a sudden, I'm talking to him, and I'm like, he's about to fall asleep. And then I'm like, he's sleeping.
Ain't no shame in that.
Just sitting up.
Relax.
And I'm like, I'm good. Are we different now?
No, that weed makes every sleep number the right number.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I can be between 20 and 100.
Yes.
Now, these, by the way, that brings me to this, if I may say, and maybe Kyle can back me up on this. Brooklyn and Sheets is a sponsor of ours, but how good, baby, are these sheets?
It's
I'm
like
into it. Let me know.
They're comfortable.
Word.
I think if they're the ones,
Yeah, you-
Markedly. Tell me about these sheets. I'm into this.
Okay, you spend a third of your life in sheets, right? Well, this holiday season is a great time for a bedding upgrade for you or a loved one. 5-star hotel sheets. And of course, you know the trick, a fraction of the price.
Plus, when Kyle walks into Keith's place, he's like, it's like you're in a hotel, right?
Right.
What are you saying? Cool sleep?
except for there's shit on the floor.
Like
and
wick,
the socks
wick,
everywhere.
bamboo. What's happening?
They're
what's-
they're comfortable sheets. You know what I want? I want
Well,
the
they're not a
sheets-
laundry service. They're not going to pick up my clothes on the floor. I'm
No.
talking. They just
What
give
are
you
they
good
made of?
sheets.
What are they made of?
It's Egyptian cotton.
Everything nice. Might as well take a guess, baby. I'll take it from here. Brooklyn and Sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on, and now it's time for your upgrade. Brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer just for you. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code POUND
I
at
might do that shit. Y'all think I'm
Brooklinen.com.
joking? I'm very into that shit.
I love 'em.
I just got a Casper, so I'm ready to upgrade the sheets.
Yeah, if you guys could not talk anymore.
Oh, my bad.
Brooklinen is so confident in their product that all their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use promo code POUND, P-O-U-N-D, right, baby, at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com, promo code POUND. These really are the best sheets ever.
Now, let's get to some serious shit, because during that beautiful recounting of your bedroom, I heard socks on the floor. Let me tell you, Janelle, these people have been giving me shit about my cleanliness and my... and Keith, it's fine if Andrea does it, because she's a clean fucking person. But Keith, they talk about the shit all over here. You love the floor too.
On
you
your
throw
end,
shit on
on
the
your
floor.
end, you're saying.
Yes.
It's not even close.
Kyle, please. Yes, please speak. Let your woman speak.
It's ridiculous. You have so much shit on your
No,
floor. You
you're
have
not
like
talking
a
right now.
salt shaker on your floor. I have 3
Salt
plastic
shaker.
bags
Why are there plastic bags on your floor?
because I take show notes home, so I have to have them ready for me.
Kyle looks like she's gonna throw up, so let's talk to her.
I mean, I'm definitely like a little bit more clean
No
OCD
preface.
than him. He's not dirty. He's a little messy, but he's not dirty. So because dirty is a deal breaker, but he's like, there's some shit around his
Pick your
apartment.
shit up,
like
Keith.
he could, he's.
That's no excuse. Like, no.
But I will say, in his defense, he's been getting better. Like every time I come over,
Pick your
he's
shit up,
always
man.
organizing his apartment. He got some new furniture. He's moving shit around. I have to convince. He had some hideous brown pillows. It looked like 2 pieces of shit on the end of his couch. And I
Ooh,
said,
the bachelor package.
You gotta get rid of those. So finally, he got rid of those because I was like, you can't it's.
Dudes always got brown shit because they don't wash
I don't know
anything.
what
They like,
it's just.
it's fine.
It's like a brown suede. It just
Every man has that
no.
couch. And did it come with a couch?
It came with the.
Well, we got rid of the couch because that was
It
like
came with a brown
my
couch?
when you're
ultimatum.
18, you get a Gillette razor for free and a brown couch.
And a brown couch. But you were like, these throw pillows are still good. Let's
Yeah.
move them on to the new couch.
His
I
place
get it.
looks better. His place
Yeah.
looks better. It's thanks to me. It looks
Shit.
better.
Always. That's all we do is like upgrade men and they go and then
Yeah.
they meet their final bitch and she thinks he came like that. They don't give us any credit. She's like, I found this and he's just been built up every fucking relationship. Like you.
That's why I prefer like the fact that he's divorced is a plus.
Yeah, 'cause
like
he's
I'm
been
like
trained
somebody
a
maybe
little something,
maybe
you
if
know?
he wasn't married I'd have more work to do.
Yeah,
I
you'd
can't
have to train
imagine
him from
but-
scratch.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle saw my old couch, and it was a brown couch, and
Look like a big old rat.
like a
turd.
like a deluxe futon, if you will.
It was hideous. Go on.
And so
You know
she-
what? I really shouldn't have brought this up because now when I hear people talking about Keith, I'm like, fuck, I gotta throw out some couch pillows. I didn't think Keith's place was that bad. Fuck, I'm fucked.
Right.
Like all of a sudden I get nervous. I'm like, oh, this is next level shit. Never mind. Keith, you're great.
Well, Kyle says, you know what? Here's a couch on sale, $1,000 only. I'm like, I have one though. So how about I have this couch and $1,000? So then,
I want to go to fucking dinner so bad.
right? Coincidentally, she gets a new couch for her place. Then I get that old couch. Now I notice it's with everything. Like, oh, I bought a new candle for my house anyway. Here's one for you.
No, I
Oh,
think you're
got a-
exaggerating. I
But
needed
why
to
does
get.
it sound like complaints? You coming up on some free
I don't-
shit. That's nice. Like,
Right.
what you complaining about? Nah, fuck
I
that.
have so that couch that you have was not big enough for I have 3 kids and sometimes we all want to do like watch a movie together and it just wasn't big enough so I wanted to get a sectional so I was like, you know what, let me give him the old couch and I'll upgrade to
Do you
the
know what's great
sectional.
though? Your old couch is better than his.
Hell
like
yeah,
you.
probably.
Oh yeah,
He should just throw his out, but you can throw it out in his apartment. Like your old couch is better than anything he has.
like I thought and I think it makes this place look better. So
That's also marking your territory. Ain't no woman gonna walk in your house like he came up with this. He got candles. You have
Right.
a girlfriend.
Right.
well, I already got the tampons under the sink, so I don't know what else I have to do.
That you could be like, it's the last one left it. But candles, that's a fresh bitch. Like that's like.
I got a new garbage can for my place, so if you want,
Yes. Good work.
Plus, I'm there. I want it to be nice when I'm
Right.
there. Like I have to be comfortable.
Fucking standing on your tiptoes in the
know?
bathtub and shit. Anyway. This is all filthy. I've been in those
Like
places.
I said last time, it's nothing grosser than coming out of the shower feeling dirtier when you went in.
You using his one
You know
towel.
what I'm saying?
Anyway,
Have you
sorry.
been
Obviously, I'm having like.
flashbacks to somebody.
Like, was the dick that good? No. One towel, son. Anyway.
My concern is that whenever you guys are doing it now also, we're describing these people, it's always male. So when I start dating, who's going to be that for me? I don't want to be that. I want to be the one
Who
towel
are your
bitch.
friends now? Why they letting you slip with a brown couch?
You know what? I do have friends because they have been telling me about my shit for a minute. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, I hear you and I see your face.
But I feel like you've been working on so much internal stuff. Like you went camping alone. You did the silent shit where you can't talk to people. Like that's kind of
That's
like an
true.
inner cleansing.
That's
but
cool.
now you're doing that. So I feel like your environment for
Will
me
reflect.
I feel like when my environment looks it's psychological. I feel like I'm doing better. You know what I mean?
It's true. And
So-
honestly, like, okay, so I am a mess, but I've been throwing out so much shit. Today I threw out a chair that's I had so many chairs. I was walking around my chairs in the kitchen, but I had such a hard time throwing it out. Today was such a big deal. I put it on the corner and I'm
That's
like,
great.
I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I
That's
don't
some
need this.
therapy shit. You
It's
gotta work
so
out.
hard for me. I threw out a whole bunch of shit in the bathroom. So here's my my invitation to everyone in this room, if you guys are into it. May 15th.
You mop my place. What?
It's a cleaning party.
Everybody gets a slice of pizza.
Janelle can do her podcast.
I'll throw some weed in there. May 15th was, to me, I don't know if it was exactly that day, but it was in that week, was the day that we split up. So May 15th to me, like, is my future date that my life will have. Like, I'm slowly throwing things out. I'm slowly mentally throwing things out. And so I'm able to take the next step because I know I have months ahead of me. So I'm like, I'm crying now, and in 6 months, I'll be done. So I'm like purging all the shit. So May 15th, I really want to throw a party. Come to my house to, lick your finger, wipe every surface, look around,
This
see if I'm.
sounds like a rager.
But you know what? You should get, like, why not use like Carrie Gravenson and have her come
I'm
over?
gonna put you on a calendar,
know?
months in advance. To do.
Okay, I will hire Carrie Gravenson. Can people please fund our Kickstarter?
Is she the cleaning person?
She does
Organization.
She organizes.
She's like an organizer. Like she'll come over and she'll like tell you what to like. She's like a
Yeah.
professional.
Word.
I'm not ready for her
organizer.
yet. Like, I have so much shit to throw out. She's, when she walks in, she'll be a throw out. Yeah, I know. Let me get to the part where I need
Are
professional.
you
Yeah,
attached to the stuff? Is that what it is?
Obviously, yeah. If
It's
you-
not.
She does that now. You fight her. You'll be like,
Yeah.
I got
trying.
that in Florida.
That's the thing. And then I'm like, well, I've had this. And then I'm like, oh my God, I've had this for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think like, oh my God, I had some of these clothes for 20 years.
Oh, I'm not attached to any of it. I'll get rid of it. If I don't wear it in 6 months, it's out. I just don't. I get more stress seeing shit.
I'm the same.
you
Yeah,
know?
I have 5 new dresses.
All right, let's talk about Keith and what it's like to fucking be around him. Kyle,
I think we're doing all right.
what's he like? What's he like to fight with? Because he's rough, right? Because here's what I see. When I fight with him, he's gotten better. But a lot of times they're staring, and he thinks he's saying so much.
It's like a high functioning. Yeah, it's a weird
yeah,
spectrum.
suddenly this
thing.
fucking yapper. Look, I have opinion. Here's passive aggressiveness. Bah, 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 bah. And then it's like, well, here's what I think about some serious shit. And then like laser beams come at you, and it's like, do you think those laser beams are like, they have text on them, and they're like, I don't know.
I think he's very communicative. I've never been with anybody that's that like, like if I'm upset, I'm so used to, no one giving a shit. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, and I'll hang up. And then he'll be like, don't hang up because I know you're still upset. So I appreciate that. Like he'll sort of pull it out. But then sometimes it gets pulled out where more meaning is given than necessary. And then I
Interesting.
feel like, like we've had a couple moments recently.
We had a couple where I have to realize, well, she thinks that she could be like, okay, so we're upset. Let me just hang up and that'll be the end of this for the day.
And I'm just literally like, maybe it's me and I'll just get over it.
And I know I'm smart enough to know that's
Wow. Way to preface.
Well, I am.
Continue.
I can play dumb, or I can be smart enough to know, like, there's no way this is gonna end now. You're gonna be like, wow, did you really just let the conversation end there? So I gotta be like, okay,
I'm exhausted.
okay, right.
I hate fighting.
No, it is tiring. The only time I feel like I was legit like wrong was when I was in Kuwait and Mike and Gary were like, we had some it was like the time difference, and I don't know what I expect. And I went down and I was like, they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know, I just had a fight with Keith. They're like, why? And I'm like, well, he didn't call me back, and he da-da-da. They're like, and Mike was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He can't read your mind. And then I was like, oh. So I felt like that one I'll take. That one I'll eat. That was my fault, I guess.
All right,
but-
what was your fault, Keith? This is what's not exhausting.
Oh, you fucker. You don't think anything's your fault.
I know when someone says something, you're supposed to find something bad with you. Those are the rules. I don't think
That's all
it's
he's
my
like,
fault for any of these fights.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
He's
Kyle.
not bad. I honestly, I think that, I think it's good. I think he's solved things. I feel
Sure,
like
sure.
he's,
What's his fault?
I Kenda's holding on to some fight we had a decade
No,
ago.
I really
trying
don't
to
know.
think if,
But I just think it's so funny that like, well, because first of all, you have the mic all the time, so it's like, oh, we had a fight, whatever. But now Kyle's here, so what's his fault?
Honestly, I can't think of anything really bad right now. No, I can. I will think of something,
Thank
but
you.
like, there's a couple annoying things about him, but I mean, not a lot. You know.
You're trying to start shit.
Right? She's trying hard.
He wants to be better.
You know what? I just realized I don't think this is working out.
That's me. That's me mid-fight. Like, you know what? We're over.
Really? Is
I
that?
don't-
Have you actually broken up with someone in the middle of a fight?
Yeah,
Just
like what? Then leave. What if you're so mad? Like if I've done something to make you so mad that you're like yelling at me or something, like peace, I'm good. You know.
I get that. I don't see like the.
I
Yelling
just don't
stuff.
like. I don't like it. So.
Yeah, I get it.
I was nervous the other night when football was on. And she's like, what do you...
Oh, that was your fault.
Yes.
I found something.
okay.
You talking about last night?
Yes. Because I said, oh, at 8 I'll be watching football. And she was getting back home for something. And she goes, hey, so if you're around, let's talk. And I'm like, yeah, I think I said I'm going to watch football.
It was a little rude. He texted me. I called you when I got out of Stand Up New York. I said, I just finished my set. I'm on my way home. Call you when I get home, and we can catch up a little bit. You could tell me about your day. And then he said, well, there's really nothing more to say. Or so, like the way you said it. And I was like, oh, well, fuck you then.
I feel like
I will not be
lot
calling
of men
you.
have a problem with tone. I
Yes.
think women are just so. I don't know. It is their fault, but they haven't been socialized to watch
These poor
it.
animals.
And women are used to like, oh, I apologize. Are you sorry? Da-da-da. So we're like measuring everything we say when dudes are just like, do-do-do-do-do. And then we're like, what the fuck? You didn't do all this shit that I do internally every time I say something? And then we get mad at I don't think it's never, I've had arguments like that where I'm like, why didn't there? And I really feel like they're stupefied as to where this argument is coming from.
Well,
you know?
I say I recorded some shows. They went well.
Yeah.
This and this happened.
Yeah.
Then she goes, okay, tell me more about your day later. And I'm being genuine,
Yeah.
and I'm saying, well, I'll just warn you, there isn't more about
Yeah.
the day, but of course I'll talk
But that
to
was
you.
rude because it wasn't. Normally, we do
Like she
talk
just
more.
met me. Like she just fucking met me, and I'm somebody that would say,
Yeah.
No.
All right, now I'll
You
be
wanted
Keith.
something else, and
I'll
you
be
didn't
Keith.
say it how you know. She wanted something else. She
Yeah.
just
Well,
wanted
it's
to
just
talk
out of
to
the
you
norm.
more.
It was
Yeah.
like our normal pattern is once I get home from a show or he gets back from the da-da-da, we'll catch up a
But
little
you
bit.
took it as if he'll never talk to you for the
And
rest
he-
of the night, which of
Yeah.
course he will. Is what I'm saying.
Right. It was like there was nothing left to say. Well, fuck you then. you
Okay,
know?
now you say it to me. I'll be Keith. Go.
I just got out. I'll be home in about a half hour. I'll call you then.
Cool. If I don't pick up, it's only because I'm watching football, but I can't wait to talk to you later.
Wow, that would have been an amazing thing if you had said that,
But
Keith.
That's
see,
the same as there's nothing else to say except you're talking
That's
to
what
your
I'm saying. They don't
girlfriend.
know tone. They don't know tone at all.
Thank
Jesus
you.
Christ. Like the whole and what's funny is I'll watch you talk to other guys and I'll watch two guys miss each other. I'm just like, oh, you're missing each other's tone and they don't and all of a sudden Keith you'll go, I don't know what this dude is saying. And I'm like, I know, but I do. I know what you're saying and I know what he's saying. And
That's
I
why
know
they
what you're
always
missing.
fist fighting,
we're trying to talk.
missing each other's tone. So who has that joke? A lot of people. Oh, that's Chris Rock. A lot of people's lost teeth to tone.
I believe that.
Watch your tone.
It's true. It's like for guys, that's filler. It's like in Keith said, and he just said it now. He's like, you didn't meet me yesterday. You already know that I feel that way. And it's like, yeah. And your mother knows that you
Right.
love her also.
We
but
wanna
like,
fucking
just
hear
fucking-
it.
What do you think the difference between a friendship and a romantic relationship is? Is the dumb fucking shit that you say to each other.
Or, like,
and
the little habits.
considerations.
Did you
Yeah.
have you guys? Do you guys know the love languages? Have you ever heard of that? Where
Like
people,
Hebrew?
No, it's this thing where, and it is kind of true that people you can look at it. People respond to different things. So there's like words of affirmation, acts of service,
Gifts.
touch, gifts, stuff like that. And so you seem like a affirmation person. You want to hear it, and Keith might be something else. But they say like the key to relationships is really like
Oh, just-
learning those things. Because
That's a
him
good one.
saying, "Okay, good, I won't talk to you later" or whatever, I wouldn't have taken it because I don't need all that shit. I don't
Yeah.
need you to say. I'm like, good, bye. You know,
Right.
I need other things. So that's a little tip
That's
Yeah.
actually a
to
really
stop
good
you,
one.
especially when your argument seems stupid.
Yeah.
That's really usually what it is.
Yeah.
You know, that you just respond to different things differently.
The love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts. That seems like one that would bug the shit out of me, right? What's your personality? Receiving gifts. Go fuck yourself. Quality time, physical touch, knowing that once in a blue moon, football is on Sunday night.
Oh,
Word.
interesting. Yeah.
I did want to say though, I don't think receiving gifts is how you're taking it.
Right, exactly.
It's what Kemba was saying, but in the right. Sorry, Hemda was saying.
It's like Kimba.
But in the beginning with the Bob Ross thing, receiving gifts would be you actually listening to what she's saying and getting the appropriate gift.
To me, like
Not that you just need shit all the time.
Right.
receiving gifts is like, you know, every, I don't know, whatever amount of time that you come to my house, you bring the drink that, you know, I like or
Yeah,
something.
like, that you've been listening and paying attention type shit.
Or, I don't know, you've heard me talking about like, oh, I keep forgetting to stop by the store and get something. And so, but that's, again, you have to think about like what gifts your mate wants, because there's some people who are listening to me talk and going, what the fuck is wrong? Say jewelry. Say, you know, there are some people who, yes, giving gifts, it's jewelry.
You can't be that vague with men. Jewelry, you end up with some kind of African, you know, bead,
Some shit from a
necklace
flea
or some
market.
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
no, bitch, I meant
Oh
Tiffany's.
my God. I used to have to tell one of my exes, like, can you look in my jewelry drawer and just buy me more of that? Don't be trying to turn me into some other bitch. Like, who have you ever seen me wear? Oh, I just thought it was like on some other bitch. Like,
Right.
this is what I like. Like, it's the answers are all here for you.
Yeah, what's funny is those are the small things that will get you in huge trouble in relationships, because, you know, if you're
Now
getting,
I'm a bitch. Now
Right.
he feels mad. He's
Right.
like, I'm never buying you anything ever again.
right, like everyone had good intentions.
Yeah.
It was like, I showed you this, you tried to do something out of the box, and it's
Right.
like, no, I showed you the box. Go copy that.
Just
Yeah.
fucking, we spell it out and they just,
Yeah.
stupid.
Well, Kyle doesn't spell things out. We've been dating 6 months, but I think she's still at this place where it's overly polite sometimes. And it's hard to figure
Punch
out,
him in the face.
does she want to eat dinner at home or go out? And I'm like, tell me which way you're
Y'all
leaning
should still
to
be
a
fucking
little
6
bit.
months. Y'all shouldn't be arguing yet. Just bone.
Janelle's got all the answers.
Right,
I'm
right.
sorry I curse so much. I mean, I do feel like relationships to me are just, anyway, whatever.
Well, no, also just, I feel like I'm very I'm sort of a yeller, and so he doesn't like to get yelled at, and I'm just allowed.
I
like,
just read
that's
all the
just
love
how
languages.
I
Not one
am.
is yelling.
Yelled. I really like to get yelled at.
But I'm just like, so I'm trying to, like, you know, sometimes it's like coming to the middle and trying to find a compromise. And
Plus, Keith always
you
thinks he's
Italian?
being yelled at.
no, I'm half Venezuelan.
Oh.
So yeah,
Tamale.
Huepa.
That's the white dudes say when
They
they
do
meet
say
you,
that.
I'm sure. Oh, hot tamale.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so gross. It's the grossest shit ever.
Spicy.
she looked past that. But yeah.
He's called me feisty a couple times. I'm like,
Yikes.
all right, whatever.
Yeah, but
It's a fantasy. All right, you want me to call you Papi while I'm fucking you?
Ew.
So gross. It's so gross.
ugh.
No, I swear to God, he's never said that.
No, I
Or
know.
it'd be done. Yeah,
No, that's.
he's for as much as I'm complaining, I have to say he's amazing.
Oh my God!
So,
Stop.
he's
Who gives a shit? We know how
They
good he
just
is.
want the gang up on
shit.
Keith Day. I'm so sorry.
Are you dating, Janelle?
Yeah.
Look at him trying to change this.
Yeah.
Well,
No, that's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
we have bitter Henda here. I'm trying to see where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I'm out here.
Right.
I just like shitting on you, Keith. I know that you guys are great, fantastic. Anyway, wait. So you're dating? Do you go on the apps?
No, I'm too old for that.
Okay.
Usually, if I date somebody, I done scoped them for months. I done asked around. You know, I
Right.
did major recon, and then
That's exhausting.
I approach.
What's your
I
approach
need to
like?
choose.
I-
I'm super forward. Like, hey, you like me?
In person, right?
Yeah,
Not online.
yeah.
I'm not into that. Online.
Because
I'm
I
not-
looked up all about you and I know everything you like. So you might as well make this work.
Basically, like, let's go. You know.
Oh my
I've,
God,
I've
you can-
determined you're not psycho.
You can do that. You can go up to someone and be like,
Yeah.
"I'm interested in you."
Yeah.
Ugh, you're my
Always think like, what's rejection? So like rejection. I mean, and I've been rejected like that before. You know, either I have a girlfriend or it just fizzled off. The conversation fizzled off. But a rejection is me not knowing somebody I didn't know 5 minutes ago. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Ah,
So that's how I
okay.
take it.
Right. It's just weird that you tell them that.
What?
They walk away and you go, I mean, I didn't know
I didn't know you
really."
anyway. That's the okay, you ugly bitch of from a woman.
Right.
You know. You're lost, buddy. Is what I always think because I'm a narcissist. But yeah,
Okay.
I think every relationship I've been in, I've approached, and then or you do the thing of making them feel like they did it. You know,
That's
to
what I
trick 'em
go
into
for.
thinking-
Yeah. I just like hang out, and if you're interested, I'll feel your beams. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like if I'm around and talking to you and you're interested, your face will change a little bit.
Well, yeah. I
I
mean,
hope. But you know what? Ooh, sassy.
I'm kind of corny though. I'll do the whole like, hey, what are you doing sitting at a bar by yourself? I'll do all that shit. And usually men will laugh. You know what I mean?
often?
Yeah, I'll do all that corny. I like that
1980
kind of
style at a bar.
shit. Yes.
I once did. I saw this guy that I thought was cute. He was walking, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this thing where like I dropped something or something. I like bumped into him. I did something so fucking corny.
Yes.
I did
Meet
start-
cute.
Yeah." And I did start talking to him. I did get his phone number. We did like correspond a little bit. But when he called sex fornication, I got so turned off.
Oh, what are you,
Yeah.
a health teacher? Ew.
It was terrible. And it turns out it was because he was like some like ex-related, like still trying to get out of his relationship. This was a long time ago. But
Top of the sheet sex.
right. Oh yeah, I didn't do anything. But he told me that he totally knew that I was doing that I dropped the thing on purpose. He's like, you did that on purpose. I'm like, how could you tell? Oh, I thought I was being so cool.
Dropped what? The word fuck or something?
No, I dropped something and
So that
said,
they could pick it up together.
Yeah.
Be
I-
a gentleman.
I like bumped into. I did something that I thought was subtle, like, oh shit, did we just on the street?
Right.
Oh, how are you
I
anyway?
love it.
Yeah,
That's great. Start with a lie. Yeah.
I was gonna tell them later.
You know what's weird about New York is there are people that have like subway stories. They may not, which I think is weird. But one time, some guy came up to me on the subway and he asked me what I was doing. He's like, "What are you doing Sunday morning?" And I'm like, "Is he going to ask me to brunch?" This is a long time ago. And he asked me to go to church.
Oh,
So it was like, so you have to be. So sometimes it's like those in-person encounters are like they're interested in you or they're trying to like convert you. It's weird.
oh my goodness, that might be both though. The church move, that's a good one.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
feeling yourself thinking you killing it that day and this motherfucker's like,
That's-
by the way, have you
You need
heard
Jesus. Like
the,
that.
The teachings of Jesus. I'd be so fucking mad.
It was like I was shocked. I was
they
shocked.
sending out like hot missionaries
I was shocked.
to get you talking. That would work on me.
That was a very 90s thing.
Now that I think about it.
What are you doing Sunday?
I'm like, is everyone at your church looks like this? You know?
I have friends hit on Kyle in weird ways, and then I convince her, yeah, don't talk to anybody. They're all weird out there.
I can't tell who hits on me at all. I legitimately think nobody has hit on me in years.
I'm sure
I'm
that's
sure they
not
have.
true.
I'm sure they have because
If you're a woman,
women
yeah,
just
like,
get hit on. I'm not talking about cat calls or like
Yeah.
like I'm not counting that type
Yeah.
shit. But I have no idea who's hitting on me. Everyone's being perfectly subtle. Thanks.
I don't know. I mean, you have to be open to it too, so you even know.
That's
I
what
like
I
flirting
thought.
and shit, so I'm always like, even if I'm not attracted to the person, I'm flattered. I'm like, that's cool, as long as they don't turn into a fucking jerk. Once you're like, I don't.
That's
you know,
the thing.
I'm
I
not.
get nervous about
know.
flirting with guys.
Well, that's why people can't do it now. Everybody's on them apps, and then you meet in person, and those motherfuckers don't know how to hold a conversation because everybody's scared of rejection and don't know how to flirt and don't know those. Are scared of feelings. Like I see a lot of people saying that now. Like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, like they're scared to even feel, and that's why
That
people
sounds
aren't
like some
having.
millennial shit.
It is. Well, but millennials aren't that young anymore. They're like in
Right.
their 30s. So it's like, that's scary to me. It's like, get out the fucking house, talk to people, feel rejection. It's okay.
Yeah,
You know?
you're right because we get a lot of like guys in here coming in talking about their online situations. They'll have full discussions. They're very into the person. They're talking on a daily basis, and then the woman will say, "Hey, why don't we meet next week at?"
And
such
they
a
don't
time?"
want to because
They
now they're scared. Yeah.
Ghost,
Yeah.
you
so
I
weird.
think
pussy
what also
bitch.
what happens is
How do you not think these guys are pussy
Yeah,
bitches?
yeah.
You pussy bitch. I just put in like fucking a week of
Yeah.
chatting and then your dick shriveled up.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is this?
Yeah.
And you're a perfectly reasonable human being. That's
Yeah.
the fucking shit about
I
it.
think what happens is all that shit makes
Wah.
men share too much in advance, and then they panic because now
my
you know so
God.
much. You know, like an online relationship is, or just like long distance, where you feel like you're more in love than you are because you
Right.
run out of shit to say. So you're like, when I was 6, and you know, you're telling all this shit that you wouldn't normally find out till like 20 years in of marriage. You already said it, so it's like, why do you even meet now? I already know every fucking thing
Right.
about. Ugh,
You know what was funny about my rant just now? The women behind you, their eyes got like so big, and then Andrea gets this giant grin on her face. When I start going in, I'm like, "You fucking pussy bitches!"
Andrea loves that.
She's just like,
I mean,
"Yeah."
they are.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for March 15th to come around. Holy balls.
When my place is finally clean and I get the shower with no underwear on, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, dudes are mask off now. I don't like it.
Would this be heaven or hell? You die and you you find out all the people that had a crush on you that you didn't know about.
Would this be heaven or hell?
Oh, I would love that. Because then I don't have to deal with it. I'm just in heaven.
Well,
but like, okay,
depends.
just tell. Can I know what they liked about me? Because that would be fun too. Can you guys just tell me now?
Exactly. No,
I
I
put
wouldn't want that. I got to deal with crushes in heaven. That's not my idea. Of
No, you
heaven.
don't have to deal with it. It's like you're watching a movie. Oh, that's
Oh, you
nice that
just
you thought
knew?
that. You know?
Mm.
No. Okay. All right.
I feel like anyone who has a crush on me that wasn't bold enough to say it is not my
They
type.
d- right,
It's not
they-
anybody I
right.
would be interested
They
in.
did you a favor.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to worry about it because you're in
Right.
heaven.
I'm like, phew.
Yeah.
He never approached. That's great.
Kyle, would you want to know?
I feel like anybody that has, I feel like I know.
Hmm.
So, because you kind of always know.
Yeah, if you don't know, that means that's some creep in the corner
You're either yeah,
that
or-
just stares at you.
and even the creep in the corner, I can see.
Yeah, you see
I'm
it,
not, you
yeah.
know. It's,
But I might have had crushes that I didn't pursue because either like they were with someone and I'm not gonna get in them. I'm just not even gonna. Or it's inappropriate, or I just know
So,
they
like,
wouldn't
your
be interested.
friend's dad
yeah.
or whatever.
Right. It's all uncles and shit.
It's like a teacher,
I used to be
professor.
in love with my friend's dad. Oh my god,
Oh,
my
we
friend
all
Chuck, who you
have.
met. Oh my god, I had the biggest crush on his dad.
And then if you see him as an adult, like if you saw that person
He's
as
like
an
100
adult,
now, but-
no, I'm saying, and they were the same age, you'd like, ew. Like it's so weird
Yeah.
what you're attracted to when you're younger.
Yeah, but when I was younger, I couldn't be attracted to older guys. I don't know. They were
That was
just.
my shit.
That was-
you don't you have a dad.
yeah.
I do,
That's probably what it is.
but I don't like him, so maybe that's why I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I had a dad too. I didn't like him at all.
Yeah.
so,
That's what. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
like a daddy issue
Yes,
thing.
Like,
yeah.
oh, this guy was nice to me.
He's the first person I've ever been with. It's like he's a year older than
really?
me. That's it.
Well, I remember, okay, so when I was like 17, I worked at a place called Mano a Mano. It was in the West Village, and I was still in high school. I worked like in the summer, and then I was going to start working like on the weekends or whatever. But I started in the summer, and everyone in that fucking store was an asshole. I was 17 years old. I was the only one who's like, summer work, and like, I'm a kid. These guys are like...
What is it, clothing?
It's clothing, but like they have suits in the back, so it's like nicer clothing, but also jeans. But it was like a little higher end. All the women in there, this was like a movie. I'm like, wow, you really are fucking leaning into that reputation that we have about being really gross to each other. They were all like very specifically catty mean to me, and I'm like, wow, you guys are adults. You care about what I couldn't even believe I just got back from Limelight, and I'm like, typing on the fucking taking people's orders. I don't care. And so the guys are older. They're like 30 something, and I'm 17, and they're like oddly hitting on me. Like, not hitting
Yes,
on me, hitting on me.
continue.
Yes. So like
You're filling out nice.
one of the actually older guys used to say weird shit like that.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
16-year-old
Well, this
shit.
is before me too. People said anything.
Yes.
But it was weird.
Anything.
Like, speaking of that, a different dude was like in a different place. Was like, oh, 16-year-olds don't look like that. I'm like, what? In movies, this is like, I thought the youth was.
Well, what's really interesting to me is one of my best stories is that I think is that I went to my prom with a 26-year-old because my boyfriend, who was 24, told me he was too old to go to prom.
Oh shit.
So I went with an even older guy. But again, so I remember being 16, 17 and thinking I look so grown because I
Yes,
had
for
lipstick
sure.
on it. And then you see pictures of yourself and you're like, oh, I was a child.
Yeah.
And it becomes very creepy.
But
So-
same thing. My fucking prom, the guy that I was gonna go with, we were both seniors. We were buddies. Like it was like my only guy friend. And I was like, oh, phew, I don't have to deal with this. I wasn't dating anyone. He got sick, so I had to ask someone last minute. But again, I don't know any guys. I'm not really like comfortable speaking to guys. There was a dude at the local supermarket by my house that my friend worked at. My close friend who I was actually like going to prom with, like my best friend in high school. She worked there, and there was this dude who always hit on me. He like stocked things and whatever. And I'm like, why don't you ask him? He always seems to be like interested. He said yes.
Yes.
The thing is he was like, he was 23. And so I don't think he realized when I walk in there and you're hitting on me, you're just being like a punk fucking asshole, Now he's in a limousine with me and my besties.
I mean,
And all of a sudden, he's 23 years old at my prom. And like you could see him being like, what
no,
the
my
fuck?
prom date
Yeah,
had the
that's
time of his life. I believe he did a split at one point on the dance floor.
He wasn't even shy.
He had a Soul
love
Train
it.
line go. He ordered. I remember we had a bar for like chaperones. He was like the only date that could drink like legally. Like he had the best time. But we didn't date, and that I did it the same way. My boyfriend was like, "I'm not taking you to prom." And I was like, I'm popular. I'm going to prom. So I
That's
told my friend,
hilarious.
I said, we're going to go to the mall. And the first hot dude I see, I'm going to ask him to go to my prom. And it ended up being that guy. He was like a
funny is that?
European basketball player.
Right. This dude was so
And
embarrassed.
he took me, and he had the best time. And we like shook hands at the end of the night. It was fine. But
In all fairness, we
my
missed
boyfriend was a creep. Is the point?
Yeah, your boyfriend was a
like
creep.
if you're too old to take me to prom, you're too old to be dating me.
Yes. Yes, and that guy should have learned a lesson. Like,
Yeah.
if you see me and I'm 17 years old, I'm still 17 when
Yeah.
I'm coming into the supermarket for actual
Yeah,
groceries.
yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
But the funniest part was, like, first of all, we missed the entire prom. We came in at the last, it must have been 10 minutes because I don't remember anything because all my friends are late. I'm late. So I'm Israeli. We had my best friend's black and the other one's half black, half white. And we were all our ethnicity lateness. And it was
I bet y'all was the
Keep that
flyest though.
stereotype.
I bet
Fucking-
y'all was fly. Sometimes it takes a long time to get your shit together. Shoot.
yes.
You
yes.
went in here with that fishnet hem and then mall bangs, I'm sure. So
Well,
Mall
we,
bang.
remember that shit? A fucking hairspray. Anyway,
well, we
I'm
missed
dating
it.
myself. That's a half hour right there, just doing the bangs.
Did you do your bangs like that?
Yes,
I need
I
a
used to
picture.
want white girl bangs so bad. I fried the shit out of my hair trying to do that.
Yeah,
shit.
don't
I
act
tr-
like there's no climate problem going on. Of course
I
there is.
tried that. I have a 7th grade picture with like I just went to somewhere where they cut my hair, but they didn't know about my hair, and so they cut all kinds of layers that I didn't know what to do with.
You had
and
the Weird Al.
You should, if you want to see bangs that are uncontrollable.
I
didn't
want to see it so
oh yeah,
bad.
you have the same issue. I didn't know that if you wet my hair, it'll start over. So I had this like it was everywhere because it
Yeah.
was just like
Yeah.
it's
Bad cut. Yeah.
not just I didn't know what the fuck I was
I'm
doing.
responsible for global warming
the
and the amount of fucking
worst.
hairspray I use.
all the
in high school.
Aquanet
Oh my
and shit.
god.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. But anyway.
Did you go to prom?
Yeah, I was on the prom court.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, I think I read that.
Popular.
I was one of the 5 dudes.
We're the popular people
did
in
you
high
take?
school.
Don't high five Keith. There were 5 people in his school.
There were 6.
What whore
And
did you
yeah,
take?
the 6th one was the cow down the block.
But who's worse than the people that was like, in high school, I was really popular. My glory days.
I took somebody, but I was so nervous. I didn't know how to talk to girls. I think we danced once, and that was the end of it.
Oh, that's a shock. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh yes. So that's what I also was so nervous to talk. Like I hardly spoke to him, of course, and he's hardly speaking to me, and we don't know each other at all. And he's finding himself in this garbage, and we like pretty much missed the prom. So now I'm going to Limelight, this club in
I
the
remember
city.
it.
Did you go?
I used to. We talked about this on my first show years ago. I used to go to Limelight all the time,
Yeah.
and then go to Locks Around the Clock after. Remember that place?
We were in the same place together.
I think we probably were at the same time, and we didn't know it.
Well,
Me too,
whore,
yes.
you're upset I took one dance in the prom?
Wait, do you guys remember Richie Says, where they played? What is that called?
Sounds like Richie's a pervert.
Like Simon Says, except with perverted shit. Yeah.
Ah.
Some woman was eating another woman out right on stage, like Richie Says, and I'm like, you are such a gay lord, and you're just asking these
At the
women to eat
Limelight,
each
you
other.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it
I
was
also
great.
I
used
mean,
to-
that whole time was a
It's kind of a
haze.
blur. Yeah. But also, like I used to go. I mean, I was from Ohio, so this stuff was exciting. It was like the Palladium, which maybe is not if you're a New
Went
Yorker.
to the
like-
I
Palladium.
was a CBGB girl, and then the Continental when it was a real dive bar. Like I used to like there. And what's the place that used to be a church?
Limelight.
Limelight.
Limelight. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
So.
And not to brag, I did the grind on MTV.
oh,
Hey.
That's cool.
That was
I
very fun. That was
auditioned
like the
for
highlight of my
Want to
life.
be a VJ? That's how old I am. Do you remember that?
Oh.
My mom didn't let me go for those things.
I snuck
I
here
tri-
on a Greyhound from Maryland and stood in line for like 18 hours to audition for that shit.
I was afraid because then my mom would see me on TV and know the shit I was doing. Yeah.
My mom would have never watched MTV. So I
No,
was safe, but
fucking someone in my goddamn fucking squealy family would be like, "Did you see your daughter?" They used to tell my mom like, "Your daughter was on Main Street. She was with a dude. Is he Jewish?" I'm like, "Mom." Ugh.
I think all the time about all the shit that I've done, and my mother has no idea when I was a teenager.
Right. By the way, when the guy says to you, do you want to go to church? He was talking about Limelight.
maybe.
It's been closed for like 15 years.
It's a mall now.
Ew.
Yes, a high-end mall.
I feel like New York is just.
Is a mall now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I miss all the heroin addicts in front of my building.
Yeah, whatever
in East
happened where
Village.
you get, robbed at every other block. And
Yeah,
There was a
but-
charm to it because there weren't people from Connecticut here, and now it's just so
Just
different.
Ohio.
Just me.
It is Connecticut.
Just a
That's
girl.
what happens. People come in and then they come in for the culture,
You're
that's
the
what they
people
say.
coming in.
And then they change it to what they left. They're
see,
like,
I
where's
was-
the Starbucks?
I was
Where's the-"
broke coming in. Back
what
when
I'm
I
saying.
moved
People are
here,
rich
you
now.
could move. You could be like a girl from the Midwest and have a big dream and get an apartment with your friend
That's what I'm
and
saying. The
afford
people
an
coming
apartment
now
with your
don't
friend.
have dreams. They just want to live in New York.
They have
which is-
luxury buildings and
which
they have
is-
pools in their building. Like I lived on Avenue B in 6th Street. It was like horrible, but it was so I loved it. I loved
We
like
can
the
talk later. We
crazy.
probably know each other and don't
Yes.
even
Oh my
fucking know.
God.
But anyway, 'cause I used to hang
Seriously.
out down there all the time.
Me too. I
Yeah.
lived on like
We probably all walked past each other, which is what's so crazy.
yeah, I lived on 13th and like A or B, and my fucking cokehead roommate robbed me. It was
I had a
like
cokehead roommate too, and she had bed bugs. I fucking hated
I had a
her.
bipolar one that would fuck people like right in front
I had a
of my front
bulimic
door.
one. I had a bulimic one. I had a bulimic one. I had to get a toolbox for my food.
Oh my goodness.
wait. You win. Tell us about the sex.
No, I'd be coming home from, Limelight or whatever and would open my front and he has his own room. They would be fucking like right in front of, like, boop, I would hit them.
Those
Like,
are the-
excuse me.
Yeah, you're all talking about those beautiful gritty days, and that'd be great. That'd be great with your 3 children, Kyle. What happened to those days?
They messed it up.
Yeah.
Would you?
Those, everybody together. Those were the days.
Girls were girls and men were men.
Fucking in front of my front door.
Bipolar roommate.
Would you let your kid go to Limelight at 16 years old?
They don't go
knowing-
anyway, so I'd rather you know. I'd rather know that they're like I said, I did so much shit that my mother doesn't know about. So
And you still did it. What
still
about
fucking
you?
did it.
Yeah, I think I would because I'd rather know what,
Yeah.
particularly my daughter, who's very open with me and tells me everything. So I feel like I'd want.
No,
yeah,
she don't.
I
First
would,
of all, good for you.
I
You
think
think that
she's
she's good that she
good. I
convinced
think
you. Right?
Either she is good, or I do know. I know the imperative shit. I think
You still have like a very specific closeness with her.
I do.
Yeah.
How
With
old is
her,
she?
yeah, 13.
Oh, okay, maybe not
Yeah.
then, but I know girls are sneaky as fuck.
Yeah, but the thing is I wouldn't have been so sneaky if my mom was a little more lenient. I wanted to tell them where I was going, but you're not going to let me out of the house.
Also, the trick is once you tell your parents something and they're like, "Oh, okay, now you don't want to go as bad." You know what I mean? It's like, oh well,
Yeah.
maybe I won't go.
I mean, I've taken my kids. I don't know if you've ever been, like, I've been stuck when my kids were smaller and I didn't have a sitter. And I just took them, like, fuck it, you're going to the comedy club with me. And they sit in the green room and it's like they're around funny people and they're just not, they're
feel
not
like-
really, they don't think it's such an exciting, like, some people are like, oh, your mom's a comic. That's my kids
Right.
don't
I
find
feel
it.
like comedy
Yeah.
clubs aren't dangerous for kids because so many comics don't have families that they are so excited.
Oh, yeah. They were, when
So
they
they
were
take
small.
they
yeah.
take care of your kids more better than a babysitter would.
Yeah.
you know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
that's
Yeah.
actually true. I've
Yeah.
always had, my kids have always loved
Like
being
a
in the green
tell
room.
will be like, hey, you want a ginger ale? Like it's just like
I
they're
had a little
not.
lower level people watching my kids in the green
I mean,
room,
they're
but
not
they
like
were
the
still-
monsters that you would think. Nobody's fucking in a comedy club green
Yeah.
room. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's not
So-
sexy.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
convince the kids, what's cool and what's not. I do cocaine in front of her kids, and they're so over it. We don't have to worry about that being a problem.
It's not a problem
They're
at
like,
all.
that's kind of lame.
They're
Right.
like, everyone's on Adderall now. First of all, Coke is so 80s.
Do it the right way. Take a pill. Swallow it. Don't fuck up your nose.
I got better stuff, Dad.
Exactly.
I'm excited to get these kids in line.
How are you gonna get them in line?
Please, a little
Think so?
discipline. Little fucking discipline.
He's got great ideas.
Yeah, sure.
We'll see.
Yeah.
The idea is, here's an idea. When you make mom mad, mom doesn't make you a shake the next morning.
Okay, fine. You win
Nah,
on
you
that.
can't come in on the stepdad shit, changing shit up around already. 6 months in,
like
you
ready.
already regulating shakes. Nah.
I told him, I said another 6 months, and then when we hit a year, yes, you can meet them.
No, that's way too fast.
You are regulating shapes.
Because you don't have kids, right?
Right.
You don't get to say nothing this quick. Nah, chill. Just chill and be happy that you could be still hands off at this point. It's almost like she ain't got kids.
I think
So
he's
you
looking.
know?
He's excited. Like he's excited. He
I
wants
know, I
to
get
like.
it, but nah,
you
you,
know.
can't be coming in on some this. You supposed to be cool.
Whey, no whey protein in that shake.
You supposed to be like cool guy for now before you do all
Right.
that.
I picture like one of the kids trying to manipulate mom with words, and me just looking, going, "What?
Yeah.
What do you? What? Like, forget it." Well, that's what I'm picturing.
Tread lightly. 13-year-old girl, please.
Oh yeah, that's the one he has to worry about.
Yeah.
The boys, I think he meant the younger one, but not like as official. Just kind of like he was in the same place with another friend. And he liked him actually. He was like, that guy was fun because he had the same games on his phone.
That's what you're supposed to be, the game guy. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Not I can't get a shake.
A 10-year-old.
You were mouthing off no shakes today. No.
Come in and regulate shit.
I'm just saying. That's what.
No, you can't be coming in and regulating shakes 6 months in.
I mean, I don't know.
You know, crochet
That is the
that.
best. That is the best quote I think I've heard. You cannot be regulating
But look
shakes.
how serious he was when he said, "You don't get a shake today." Like, no.
He can't wait to discipline. He can't wait.
I can't wait to not give them shakes. You made mom mad, and the next day she still celebrates your birthday? I've never heard of such a thing. I've never heard of such a thing.
My favorite is
Oh,
because
my
my
goodness.
daughter's like not. She's not super excited about and so he said, well, I'm not afraid of her. He's like, when I meet her, I'll let her know. I'll decide if I want to get to know her.
Right.
So like he can't wait to throw her attitude. He's so excited.
She's like, Mom, I don't think I'm going to accept a new boyfriend. And I go, you know what? I'm going to get to know you. We'll have fun. And they'll go, by the way, I'm the new boyfriend. And I'll think about accepting you.
Oh, okay.
He can't
You have a
wait to say
plan.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You're not trickier than me.
He sits around
True.
and thinks about this. Like he spends his time.
But
About-
he doesn't think about like the nurturing aspect. He's just like,
No.
I'll get you motherfuckers. I'm an adult, and I'm gonna let you know every time I feel that way.
They better hope they add
They
extra.
better anything.
They better add extra games to football, or we're gonna be talking a lot, and I'm gonna be fixing shit.
Ugh, you already sound like the fourth kid.
And my son's a Giants fan, so I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Ooh,
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, it'll be fine. That's dumb too.
You know what? From now on,
You're a fucking child, so why would you pick a shitty team? You can pick anything.
I love your accent.
Thank you.
By the way.
Thanks. It's called passion.
Child. I love it. What? I'm not joking.
Right.
And yet it's still funny as fuck. You love his
I love
accent.
it. I do.
A child.
Say
Yeah,
toilet.
I love it.
Toilet.
Commode.
He says toilet.
Toilet.
At first, I was like, "What's wrong with?"
Oh my god! When I first met him, I was like, "Can you say your THs?" Because he would just be like, "I taught this." I'm like, "What?"
I thought in shorthand.
It's hilarious.
So fucked up. But from now on, when you say anything to her, like via text or anything, she's gonna be like, "No, you're not regulating milkshakes yet."
Right.
I'm gonna use Janelle's line.
Hell yeah! No,
You don't get to
regulation.
come up in here and regulate shakes 6
No.
months in, bitch.
How many?
You didn't even have a couch a couple months ago. Get out of here.
How many?
Yeah, no. The kids come into his apartment and go, "Nice fucking couch, asshole."
That we had.
Oh shit! I didn't. You know what? I didn't think of that.
Uh-huh.
They come in like, I farted on that.
Keith will be like, "So did I." Multiple times. Keith will be like, "I shit on it."
I fucked your mom on it. That's going to be him.
Is that what you call farting, son? Because I farted all in this room.
You want to get real? Let's get real. Oh, you're such a
What you
perfect
going to
dad.
do when you come in and Keith got one of your kids over his knee and shit?
Oh, shit.
I'll be like, "Great." I'll walk right back out.
No, you're never
Go have
too
a
old
drink
for
with my
that.
friends.
You got this, Keith? All right.
Oh, my goodness.
I look forward to it.
Hilarious.
Kid's like, I'm 16. It's too old. I'm like, I just met you. You're one. Bend the fuck over. How many of your kids have bank accounts, by the way?
Both of mine do.
I had a bank account when I was like
He
13.
doesn't understand this.
Because he's a fucking hick.
My son has a card to teach his responsibility. He gets his if he gets babysitting jobs from around the corner, they write him a check. He puts it in his account. He
Yeah.
learns how to da da da.
Both my kids
And then he
have
gets an
fun.
allowance from me, and
Okay.
he puts it in.
How much is the allowance?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh, my kids don't get allowance. I'm very anti.
Of course.
Oh,
No.
really?
Their dad gives them stuff, but I will not for like doing shit they supposed to do. Nah, get the nah.
Yeah, well, I do give him stuff because it's like he go after school. He stops, he gets a pizza. Like I want him to have.
I don't
Well,
know.
my
he's
kids-
he's
That's just-
16 years
Oh,
old. He could manage.
Nah, my son is trying to get a job. Like he's trying to get a job now, but when my kids, if they did things without us telling them, then I would maybe. But if I have to remind you and like stay on, like clean your room. Did you clean it? If I got to check, you're not getting paid for that shit. That's
Right.
your
Yeah, no,
mess.
that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just feel like living in New York. I mean, I
Yeah.
did get an allowance. I think it wasn't that much, but it's just different. It's
They
like
don't
he's
get
gotta
allowance.
take
So
the
my kids
subway.
have mad money. They're constantly like pulling money from everyone. I'm like, where are you
Yeah.
getting this? So they must have side
I mean, the
gigs.
student Metro card only works past a certain
Yeah,
time, and
yeah.
so it's like I have to
I'm
give
not
him money
judging you.
for.
We
No,
all
like
have our
I'm
own
more
shit.
explaining to Keith, who's going to be spanking everybody and not allowing shakes to be made.
Well, I'm just curious what I'm getting into when I make these joint accounts.
No, you're going to be fine. I think kids in New York need. This thing is a little different
Not even in New York, everywhere need to get a bank account, know how to balance
to manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's one thing I was never taught as a kid. I did not write my first check till I was 22, and I've been bouncing them ever
They're
since.
never going to write a
so-
check, but, but they
Which
should know
is
what
true.
money is and how much
Yeah.
things cost.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people like, do you know how much this costs? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
but then also you could balance between do I get a pizza now or do I save this stupid pizza money that maybe is like $2
Right.
to $3 and then I add that up and I get this game that I wanted, and then you don't have to run that shit by me because at some point you're
Yeah.
not going to be running it by
that's
me.
why, like, so my son has a bank account, and I had given, I think he had like $30 or something. I said, budget this for the week, that's to get a pizza, that's to do da 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 da. He ends up going to Modell's and buying like a basketball. And so then the next day he's like, oh, I'm so hungry. Can you I was like, then eat your fucking basketball.
So hungry.
Because that's what the money was.
That
So
was your-
that's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
way to teach them,
yeah.
pick what
Consequences.
you,
and
yeah.
things.
And dieting.
So he's starving. He's 2 pounds.
Yeah, that's the thing. He knows like you're not going to die for not getting pizza, and also figure it the fuck out. Maybe borrow
Right.
it from a friend until next week, and
Right.
now
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know next time you don't want to ask a friend for pizza money, you wait to buy the basketball.
Right.
What do we do about him being late to school?
Oh, we're still working on it. I was like threatening military school. I'm like, dude, if you can't respect my rules, and then I Googled how much military school, I was like, you better be good.
I feel like that's a listen to me again, but my kids don't even live with me. But anyway, I feel like that's a the age.
Yeah.
Like 15, 16,
You're done.
they get
It's
so
horrible.
scattered. My son is so scattered. And I'm like, dude, all you got to do is schoolwork and sports. Like, you don't even have responsibilities, really. But they're so, and the whole, like, not waking up. And I think it's just, like, physio. Like, they've been jerking off all night. Like, they're tired.
I mean, he's
Like,
too big
really
now.
feel-
I used to like drag his ass out. And I'd be
Yeah,
like,
I
"You
used
are
to get
going-"
mad
and
about
like,
it, but
he's
now I feel like
twice my
they
size.
can't control it. It's just like a phase or something like that.
That's what everyone's telling me. It's
Yeah.
just
It's annoying because it fucks up your schedule.
It does.
Like, now
It
you got to drive them to
does.
school or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I can't imagine my parents being like, get to school. You're not going to go to college. They'd be like, good. We just saved 60 grand. Do whatever you want.
Live with you forever.
I guess so, right?
Yeah, but you also didn't get any of that. Like they just left you at school. They just neglected the shit out of you. They gave you all the rules and then none of like the stuff around it. So you weren't allowed to hang out with your friends. You weren't allowed to have people over. You weren't allowed to socialize. You weren't allowed to go to the movies. You weren't
kind of
allowed to
shit is
curse.
this?
But he could go to church.
Were you like
You
His
had to
dad
go
was
to
a
church.
priest.
super religious?
They were pretty strict. My dad actually was a Catholic priest.
Oh.
So that's the only control that you know is like this all or nothing, excuse me, weird thing. And you think as soon as you get a choice, you're going to pick the wrong one because it
That's
took
what Catholic
you
school does.
Yeah.
It's always the wrong choice.
because it took you until you were an adult to make choices. And first you made a bunch of bad ones because you have to let it out.
That's
And
your rum
so-
springer.
Yeah. And so what you saw was as soon as I was able to make rules for myself, I fucking went to jail, didn't you? So you know,
Telling
gives
your
him
business.
street
I ain't
cred.
even know all this shit.
I find that sexy that he did a little time.
You did jail or prison?
He did.
Jail.
Okay.
Just jail.
Just a sprinkling.
Okay, that's am I hot?
Right? Is it odd that I was like, oh, that's
You
cute.
ain't shake nobody, but still.
I mean, there's a child molester right next door. So.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay. You should get a little teardrop, like a half a teardrop.
yeah. So you know, having normal rules might not make people go out of control.
All right.
My boyfriend did time. I just want to say that.
Tell the kids that. Tell the kids that.
That's a great idea.
You know how you leave your phone around and you shouldn't. The kids look through it. I'm gonna leave you a little. Hey, remember when I was in prison,
Your
baby?
mother-
I'll put Prison Bay. That'll be his name on my phone. Prison Bay.
That's funny.
How'd your daughter find out about me?
She found a text that you wrote that was inappropriate. Thanks.
Ew.
What do you mean she found a text that was inappropriate?
Well, it was we were in the car driving to pick up my kid from camp, and I was trying to do something on Instagram. Like I didn't know how to do a story or something like that, and I'm like, oh, my kid knows everything. I was like, hey, can you help me with this? So I give her the phone,
shit.
and then
Rookie
she
move.
like she kept it cool. And then she kind of like threw it back at me, and she was very upset. And she's like, "We need to talk."
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This wasn't meant." And it was like something dirty that he wrote.
Oh,
and
how
I was
bad was it?
I can't remember exactly. It wasn't good.
Any like mouth stuff, hand stuff?
It was
love
something.
stuff?
It was like it was inappropriate.
Shit.
But I mean, it was cute. But he had the right intentions. He didn't know that she was going to read it. But so we went through.
It wasn't a dick pic, right?
No, I don't accept dick pics. So yeah. No.
Good for you.
So she's okay now. It's just like we had to have a lot of talks about like this wasn't meant for your eyes, and I'm sorry that you saw this, but mommy's older. I have a private life, and it's not really your business. And
Good
I just
for
kind of
you.
like shut it down from there.
But yes, I do have a magnificent vagina.
Oh, that's nice. That's
So,
reasonable.
Yeah, and I got her a therapist too. So
That's good.
That's good.
I figured she needed to talk it out.
Yeah, let her talk about your pussy with someone else.
Yeah. Everyone else is talking about it. Why not?
I'm so curious what the text was.
I wish I could remember. It was something like
Not memorable. Except for her.
Or I
Ask
couldn't
her.
appreciate it. I couldn't appreciate it because I was so anxiety ridden. I was like, "Oh fuck, dick, something, dick, your ass, this and that." And I was like, "Oh God," And then I just like was like, "Give me this." I don't know what she saw it though.
You throw it out the door as you're driving.
I feel like later on she's gonna be like, "Oh, my mom was like cool and living her life," but right now it's.
I
just
hope so.
fucking
Yeah.
weird.
Right now
She
she's
never
horrified.
remember this
She
shit.
thinks I'm cringy. She tells me all the time. She's like, "You're so cringy." She's like, "You're so
Okay,
cringy."
good
So,
for you. Live a
yeah.
cringy life for you.
But meanwhile, she follows all my comic friends. She's like, "Oh, Carmen's so funny and Robin's so funny," and da da da. I'm like, "But they're doing the same. I do the
You're
same
not
stuff
supposed to
they
be cool.
do."
Don't take it that way.
Like-
You're not supposed to be cool. You're the mom. She's
Oh,
not
yeah.
supposed to like you. Like
you're
that.
right.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like same level cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she loves like all the stuff that they do. But
Right.
That's
But you
funny.
don't want your mom talking about the pussy. Everybody else can.
Right. With Instagram and everything else, how don't they come across this show, for example?
They don't want to.
I don't think
My son stopped following me.
daughter-
Yeah.
He followed me, then
Don't.
unfollowed me.
Yeah, no, my kid doesn't. My kid tried to block me. I was like, "Nope, I got to see your shit."
No, yeah,
Nope.
yeah. I can
Yeah.
see his, yeah.
I don't know.
Why did your son unfollow you?
I think it was embarrassing for him.
Really?
Yeah.
But what do you don't say sexual thing. You say like very common.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
sometimes. But I feel like anything vaguely sexual with your kids is like, oh, you know what I mean?
Like the fact that even in the beginning of this show, you overheard two guys talking, you gave them a 2, like that thing, and I'm like, oh,
that'll probably be like, oh,
Right,
to
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he unfollowed me, and then
That's
I'm out
hilarious.
here having fun and shit, so he ain't trying to see that. I think he only followed me to see if I was like talking about him, that type of thing.
yeah.
So
Right.
now he's not.
Well, if they are listening,
Hi.
the fun's about to end. Okay, behave.
it's cool. It's cool that you guys. I think that's a really, really, really hard line. The line of like living your life and like having children. Like these are younger people that are
No,
influenced.
I'm very much mind your business. Like, do you pay bill? Like, you have no say
Yeah.
in what I do.
Well, it's harder to when you're divorced or going through divorce because then your private life becomes more important and a little bigger to you, and they can't understand that. So
Yeah, you guys strike a really great balance. Like your kids are really lucky.
we're trying.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We're trying.
We'll see.
Mine are in therapy, and I'm googling military school.
my
How
son went
fucking
to-
good am I doing?
My son went to therapy too that he asked for, but I thought that was great because
Yeah.
I didn't even think that's not a thing that kids did until just recently. I would think
Right.
because now everyone's speaking about mental health or whatever. Like
He asked for it.
yeah,
That's
he
great.
was like, I think I should. I think I should go to a therapist because I'm having a hard time in school and I want to talk about it with you.
Oh my
and
God.
like my kids are very mature,
Mm.
but yeah, that I didn't take it as I failed. I was like, oh, maybe I've stopped something,
Yeah.
or can deal with something that might manifest
Right.
later.
Kyle, does she have better kids than we do?
Probably.
I gotta get to work.
I smoked mad weed when I was pregnant. My kids are so chill. They're the chillest kids.
I'm getting you a humidifier.
You know when you call people's house and they fucking sound like a war zone going on in the background? Like none of that in my house. They're like
My kids were
They're like
meditating.
reading. You're like,
They're licking the wall.
yeah.
Janelle James, like I said, you can follow on Twitter, Janelle J Comic. Instagram is Janelle James Comedy.
Yeah.
And the website is the same, JanelleJamesComedy.com.
Yeah.
And the Janelle James Comedy Festival
Yeah.
is coming in December.
No, it's tomorrow. Starts tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
It is December.
It's December already.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy balls! You ready?
You ain't gotta tell
And
me.
he doesn't smoke weed.
So it's on now, which is such a big deal.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow and through Thursday, and yeah, it's a big deal, man.
Congrats, that's exciting.
Yeah, Eugene Merman, David Cross.
Now, how did that happen that he gave the festival to you?
I took that shit. No, I'm joking. No, I had done Eugene's festival a couple times in my, time in New York. And so last year, then they invited me back for the final one. And I arrived not knowing it was a final one. And so they were like filming it for Prosperity and all those things. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, I'm not going to do it anymore. I was like, what? Because the first time I heard of the Eugene Merman Festival, I didn't even know who he was. I was just like, that's baller as shit to have a festival named after yourself. So I was like, well, what are you going to do with the whole thing? He was like, it's just over. And I was like, can I have it? That was
Really?
Yeah. He was like, you should totally do that.
Oh, I just felt your balls in my hand. That was so nice.
Yeah. I
Good
mean,
for
I know
you.
he likes me, and
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Can I have your festival?
yeah.
Oh, I just fell in
And
love
he
with
did.
you.
I was happy that he like took a second to think about it. He wasn't just like, yeah, you like fucking, jerking me around. Like, yeah,
Wow.
sure. He was like, I think you should do that. That's a good thing.
I'm
He was
gonna
like,
see.
I'll
if,
help you.
I'm gonna see if
That's
I can be the
awesome.
next Chris Rock. I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah.
Kyle, you can follow on Twitter, Ocasio Kyle. Instagram is the same. All right. I'm looking at a show right here, North of the Border Comedy Show on the 26th. Do we care about that?
That's something I'm doing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all on my schedule. I don't know what I have. Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you know.
I don't know.
Okay. And the albums, Tell Mommy Your Name Again, and Three's Comedy. By the way, what a great time now to promote the Three's Comedy album, because your an agent or manager said, hey, PR. These three people on this album, Three's Comedy, Vicky Cooperman, Joe DeVito, and yourself, Kyle, have an album out. Would you like to have them on your show? And I'm like, that's interesting. You know what? I'll have Vicky on already in the past, and I will have intercourse with Kyle. These are great suggestions. Thank you. So that must have been a treat when you saw that email.
I was like, what? Yeah. I don't know. Somebody dropped the ball on that.
It was, but the best part of it was, can I introduce you to
It's
these
like-
people?
Well, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the form letter. is
Yeah.
that- yeah.
And so I just hit forward and I said, hey, these guys want me to be introduced to you. And I
think
can't.
the only one that you haven't had on is Joe, right? You haven't had Joe on the show?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
We're waiting for the rate invite.
My album is still available for Christmas sales as well.
Yeah.
If you want to buy somebody my album for Christmas, Black and Mild,
Black and
Amazon,
Mild.
iTunes, Apple, all that shit.
Yeah.
Pandora, all that bullshit.
Yes.
Oh, and I have a flask that I sell over the holidays. It's the merch on my site. It's it says don't judge me, I'm a mom. So if you're drinking, no one will judge you. And on the back it says this is kale juice. It's airport friendly. If you want to get trash before you get on a plane, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's all on my website.
I'm gonna judge you.
And I have
No, I'm joking.
I think I have one for you. You can put your stuff in it.
Put my weed in it.
Thank you, everybody. Don't forget, it's the final week of our Kickstarter.
This is it.
This is it.
That's it.